Should you buy Civilization 6? Unfortunately, I must say no, unless you have played tons and tons of Civilization 5 and you've had enough of it, or for some reason you dislike Civilization 5 and still want more Civ. Why is that? Well, I would say that this game is amazing and you should definitely get it, if it existed in a vacuum. Unfortunately, it doesn't. It exists in the context of other Civilization games. And in my opinion, and actually in most people's opinion, if you have a look at the statistics of what is being played, Civilization 5 is superior to Civilization 6. Civilization 6 is an upgrade in terms of the graphics, whether you like the style or not. Just the quality is high, although you can achieve similar ones in Civilization 5. Also, it has some good things. It introduces districts and better city spacing management. If you go to a city, you can build a specialized district, and their placement is important because they will get bonuses from adjacency of certain things. And that is a very good thing about Civilization 6. It introduces some nice city planning that actually matters. Another thing I find superior is the city-states management, because now you get global bonuses from your friendships with city-states. But apart from that, I still believe that Civilization 5 is superior. The interface is better, because here, for example, let's get a unit, just, do whatever in terms of production. So, yeah, unit needs orders. Now, let's see. I click that this unit should go here. See what happens. Now, it takes a long time to switch me to the next unit. Even if I... Whoops. Okay, let's do that. Now let's say I attack these things, and then click to get to the next unit. It will start going to the next unit, but then the game will have thought of it and transfers me to yet another, which sometimes results in missed clicks and stuff like that. This is an interface problem, which I suppose could be fixed, and it wasn't really present in the previous one. What else? Well, the city management isn't really that comprehensive. For example, you have amenities, which basically replace happiness from the previous one, but their global management is quite inconvenient, at least for me. Oh, I didn't mention that as you have districts, you also have wonders that also take up space on the map, which I also find to be quite a good thing, because you can't really fit all the world's wonders in one city, can you? So, for example, here we have the Colossus and the Lighthouse, and they do take slots, they take space, and that is a good thing in my opinion, because you have to space them around your cities and so on, and they also invalidate the hex on which you build them for exploitation. Still, the game balancing, I really don't find it that great. Also, in Civ you can have different game speeds. You can play at standard, fast, or slower speeds like marathon, and I believe the game is not well balanced on speeds other than standard. Also, when in Civ 5 and previous... well, let's talk about Civ 5 just because it's also a modern game. Your expansion was mainly limited by your happiness, because the more cities you had, the less happiness they had, and you had to get extra resources and so on, and it was sort of capped this way. Although infinite cities probably well theoretically possible. Here, the settlers just get more expensive, which sometimes limits you way too much, in my opinion. You can even get empty continents sometimes in a bigger map, less players sort of game. And some people like to play with less players and more space. So that is my yet another problem with that. So in general, this is a good game, but it is not as good as Civ 5. So I recommend that you buy it if you're a big Civ fan and want to try all of them, although in that case you probably have it already. Or if you've played Civ 5 and you've had enough, and you just want something different, then you will either enjoy it, or after playing this, you will come back refreshed to Civilization 5. And why am I comparing it to Civ 5 all the time? Well, not only because it's the previous iteration, some people still like Civ 4 quite a lot. Some people love it more than 5. But Civ 4 was a definitely previous iteration in terms of the technology of the game, of the interface. It was a generation older in that term. And some people find it great and still like it more. But Civilization 6 is just as modern as Civilization 5 in terms of interface and general, management of player information. This game, the next iteration, Civilization 6, in my opinion, just doesn't offer enough to make me choose it over Civ 5. And also it is more expensive. Now, Civilization 5 wasn't always a great game. At launch it had its problems, and they were later fixed with major DLC. So if... let's also have a look at the characters. They look way different. If Civilization 6 gets some major DLC that will fix the many problems that it has. Also, religious management is slightly problematic, but it's not that important. If Civ 6 gets DLC that will fix these problems, then it might as well become better than Civ 5. But for now, I find Civ 5 to be superior. Now let's move on to the prices. And that will cut out the sound for a bit because I need to tab out. Now, the base price of Civilization 6 is pretty high because it's $60 or euros, and it has been discounted as far as minus 40%. So if you absolutely have to buy it and really, you decide that you want to buy it, I really recommend that you wait for a good discount because you can get it at minus 40%. And with the Christmas sale coming up, maybe it will be discounted at 50%, I'm not sure, but it seems probable. So it's regularly discounted at 2/3 of the price, which is $40, but it has been discounted to 36. So yeah, if you want to buy it, I really recommend that you wait for a proper sale. But if you compare that to Civ 5, from which I got way more enjoyment, you can get that for a few bucks with all the DLC and stuff. And it's also a modern game, it's better balanced, and in my opinion, just more fun. Because I played quite a bit of the two of them before making this video, so that I could give you good data. Now, if I look at the prices of Civilization 5, it has been as cheap as $7.50. I'm not sure if that is with DLC or without, but you can really get it cheaply, and it is way more fun. I think I got mine with a Humble Bundle or something, which was also quite cheap. Oh, right. I think that wraps it up. In conclusion, only get Civ 6, heavily discounted, and if you've had enough of Civ 5. If you like Civ 5 but want to try something different yet similar, then buy it. If not, I really believe that Civilization 5 is superior to Civilization 6. And so do most of the players if you look at the statistics of which game is being played more. Thank you for watching, I hope this was helpful, and I will see you soon. Goodbye. Oh.